one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from KRQE. A former Albuquerque, New Mexico Police Department cadet who sued the city and got a big payout is back in court, but this time she's the one in trouble. Nan Zhang and her husband Sanjay Kurana were arraigned in federal court last Tuesday, accused of running stash houses for human smuggling. Zhang, who is from China, is also suing the city of Albuquerque over her firing from the police academy in 2020 over claims she was harassed and nicknamed the COVID cadet. Zhang talked to KRQE News in 2021 about her dream of becoming a police officer and what went wrong. She said the problem with Albuquerque PD's training academy staff started almost immediately when she joined in early 2020. They said, "Oh, what are you saying? I don't understand you," said Zhang. Zhang, who moved to the U.S. from China, said the situation only got worse as the COVID-19 pandemic took hold, describing how her dream quickly faded and she was forced to quit. She said, "They began to look at me weird. I became cadet COVID," said Zhang. She filed a civil lawsuit and another lawsuit for the city for failing to produce public records about her employment. The city settled that second suit with Zhang for $105,000, but now Zhang is facing legal trouble of her own. Federal prosecutors said that between March of 2023 and July of 25, Zhang and her husband, Sanjay Kurana, conspired with human smugglers to rent properties in Albuquerque to be used as stash houses at 4 locations in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The couple is also charged with inflating rents for units used to harbor illegal immigrants. According to federal documents, they warned co-conspirators of law enforcement activity and continued leasing apartments to human smugglers even after law enforcement discovered what the properties were being used for. Federal officials said that at one of those stash houses near Montgomery Boulevard and Tramway Boulevard, there was a shooting in September of 2024. KRQE News cameras caught a group of men and women taking cover from the heat in a car wash as officers investigated a suspended stash house next door. If Zhang and Kurana are convicted, they face 20 years in federal prison. Zhang's civil lawsuit for wrongful termination from the Albuquerque Police Department Academy is set to go to trial in February, coming up this year. You know, here she is. She wanted to become a police officer. She claims harassment, and they probably did make fun of her. That's how cops are. And then now she and her husband are in hot water. Why? They might have been running stash houses for human smuggling and then spiking the rent for illegal immigrants. And she's an immigrant herself. I don't know if this one turns out to all be true. Hypocrisy at its worst. And she wanted to be a cop.